I'd been told that there was not one person that could have a relationship that lasted in that mansion. You were doomed in a relationship if you were to move into that place. When I had guests come over and they stayed a couple days and they'd never been there before, they wouldn't sleep properly, and some wouldn't sleep at all. And I asked them why in the morning. And they had told me that they felt like they were being watched. And they felt that it wasn't somebody watching them kindly, but more of in a malicious way, like willing them to go away. And this happened to 3 of my friends that had come and stayed over the period of 8 years at the house, just on visits. And they were just friends, not even girlfriends. And they had felt so uneasy that they couldn't stay for more than 2 or 3 days. There was a groundskeeper in the 30s and 40s that used to actually basically run the outside area of the house, making sure that everything was being done properly and all that. From people that were alive, that knew the guy when he was alive, said that he was a very sour man and that he had never married. And he hated women. And he would provoke the women that came onto the lot that were maids. He would make their lives miserable. When he died, I think that this guy, because of the position that he held, felt that that was his house. And so he stayed when he died. Every girl that I had gone out with when I was living in the house was terribly affected by the energy within the house. Two years ago, I had a girlfriend who had come here all the way from Europe. One night, when we were going to sleep, I was woken up at around 3 in the morning to my bed shaking. I was woken up at around 3 in the morning to my bed shaking. I tried to wake her and sit her up properly. She started to bang her back against the bed. She had stood up at one point, like in this convulsive state, and had left the bed. And she was now going really fast in circles like a whirling dervish. And I couldn't stop her because she was moving so fast. I was beside myself. I had no idea how to handle this. And she stopped, and she started to yell like a banshee. And she would throw her head up and yell at the ceiling. And I mean, like, I've never heard yells like this because it sounded like 3 or 4 voices, but they weren't female. They were all men's voices, and they were coming out of her body. And she was still convulsing while she was yelling. And her head went back, and the back of her head touched the back of her ankles. It was the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. All I could do was watch in absolute fear for her. She went into the bathroom was in there for about 5 minutes, and then I heard smashing in the bathroom. And I tried to open the door, but she had locked it from the inside. There was more screaming that was not very human. And then there was silence. I broke down the door. She had cut her arm enough to cause some pretty major bleeding. And she had started writing the word die in blood on the walls in the bathroom. I held her for a while until, I felt that she was calm enough. I think that because of her sensitivity and the fact that she was so open to energy around her, because she was constantly affected by everybody's energy, I think that she let whatever it was in, thinking that it was not going to harm her. And it took advantage of that. She went back to Scotland because there was nothing we could do to maintain anything real and happy within that household. I've been gone for a year. I moved out in April of last year. In the past year, not one person has moved into that place. And I don't believe that place is going to have any tenants for years to come.